1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Hey there, Draft Kings and Queens. This is the Racial Draft Podcast. I am your host, Michael Ford, joined by my co-host, Kia Lisi herself. Kia, say what's up to the people.
Hey guys, let's out.
Are you reporting from the Valley right now? What is happening?
Oh my God, as if I would never be in the Valley. Come on, coronavirus.
We are also joined by, from the Black delegation, the adorable Randy. Randy, how's it going?
It's going adorably, that's how.
My little chocolate chip.
And if this is your first show, I apologize, but we are going to do what we do every week, and that is change the complexion of the comic book universe one draft pick at a time through the racial draft. And we are in the first week of the racial draft, season 3. We have kicked it off in this new format. Let's get down to business, as we say.
Our business, like everybody else says.
Because we started the bidding, the first character, let's just jump right into it. Let's jump right into the fact that they put it out there. The Latinx
You have my consent.
The Latinx delegation started out with Bruce Wayne.
And you know what they ended with? Not Bruce Wayne. Ah!
That's true. So, just to bring people up to speed, this season, as opposed to other seasons in the racial draft, every delegation has a bankroll, and they're using that bankroll to acquire talent for the delegations. And as it happens, $1,200 was each delegation's bankroll, and Bruce Wayne went for, wait for it, $1,199. That's right. The white delegation came out on top. They bet their bottom dollar on Bruce Wayne.
Everything but their bottom dollar, actually.
Yeah, fair point. So as people of color, how do we feel about the fact that Batman, for the first time ever, is back home with the white people? I'll start with you, Randy.
It feels like the only way it could have been even higher of a peak of caucasity is like if they dropped in with some more fan art of a white Batman and got extra points so that they could bid even more points to get Bruce Wayne.
I mean, it's going to be interesting strategy-wise, because while Batman has been, generally speaking, I mean, I think in season 1, he was neck and neck with Wonder Woman. In season 2, he was head and shoulders above everyone else, but he wasn't so head and shoulders above that he should get 99.9% of the budget. So
I mean, I feel like the only proper response now is that anytime Gordy ever tries to bid anything, like he can only bid $1, so you just like spitefully just bid $2 and get the thing that he wanted.
He can't bid at all. He only has $1 left.
No, he can bid. He can bid $1. He can bid $0.
At most, he can bid $1, and I feel like I'm going to I hope if I don't get to do it, please other people with melanin, please hurt his feelings and just get his pride and joy for like $2.
Or we can just talk about the fact that once again, Batman's in blackface.
Blackface? Explain yourself.
I mean, did you not see his outfit? I mean, just because his mouth isn't, covered in black does not mean I don't know. I've seen pictures where blackface people had their mouth and it was covered in red. So what's going on? He's pretty much just in blackface.
Well, I was just going to refer to our conversation from last week, where certain producers said that Batman doesn't do certain things, and now that Batman's firmly ensconced in the white delegation, maybe they're right.
What? White guys love that.
I mean, if anything, I'm trying to think because I feel like we got spited out of the chance to finally have a Dark Knight that is actually dark. Like I feel like that was disrespectful. So I've got my eye on the whites even more than usual. I'm very upset by these moves.
Well, also, it probably means that a lot of the members of the Batman family are going to be people of color based on the way that the budgets will shake out. How will you feel to have all these different people of color have their like white daddy, in charge?
Zaddy. It's zaddy.
I will feel like okay, fine, great, business as usual. Because
He'll be like Philip Drummond's on Different Strokes. He'll have all these different.
I mean, that's the status quo anyway. So now we just have to like snatch up all of everyone else and be like, no, you don't get Nightwing, you don't get Barbara Gordon, you don't get Tim Drake, you don't get Jason Todd, you don't get Damian Wayne, everybody else around you, and including just everybody, Catwoman, everybody. You're surrounded by melanin, and literally all of the rest of your supporting cast is better than you. So, haha.
But I would be remiss if I did not go through the twists and the turns of the first bidding process. It started off with a Latinx delegation, with a fine piece of fan casting, with Edgar Ramirez as their opening bid at 400 for the Latinx delegation. And a lot of people responded positively to that. Let's hear from them. A couple people. You had our buddy, the official artist of the racial draft, Art of Atlas, aka Eli, say that Latinx delegation casting is always on point. Love it. You also had Martine, our old buddy Martine, saying rooting for them to get to pick. Unfortunately, they did not. You also had Dr. Belford, Dr. Bedford Palmer, a new listener or a new fan of the account. It said, how would this affect Batman's main superpower, i.e. white privilege? Well, it turns out the Latinx. Not at all, because he ended up white. Also, shout out to Evan Alioto, who said, ooh, that's a sexy pick. So people were really feeling Latinx Batman, but that didn't stop the multiracial delegation. What up, Kia? From coming through with their own bid for a Batman that looks a little bit Drake-ish, Take Care, as it were.
No, nonstop.
Oh, sure. I mean, he was also hiding a child.
Well, as long as you know,
no.
As long as you know that it was not God's plan, haha.
And sadly, people were not feeling the idea of Drake as Batman.
Drake?
They were just mad because you know what? Fuck it, he was on one.
But the Latinx delegation came back with 575, only to be outbid by the blacks. Yes, Randy. Exactly. Randy came through with Omari Hardwick, aka Power. Right? That's his name on the show? Is it
Ghost?
Ghost. Sorry.
I don't even watch the show.
I just was going to make a Black Power reference, and you guys messed it all the way up. But yeah, Omari Hardwick. And then for a while, it was a back and forth between the Latinx delegation and the Black delegation before, as always, the white delegation swooped in.
Colonized.
With their own visual reference. I can't remember the actor's name. I'm going to look for it right now.
Not worth remembering. I wouldn't even name the actor because it doesn't even look like. It looks too young. Didn't even look like like he would have been like a young Batman. Like I think he's younger than
He's younger than Pattinson for sure.
Yeah, he's younger than Pattinson. Like I'm fairly certain he did that bit out of spite.
I think his name is Tom Hughes. I think that's the name of the actor.
Oh,
And
Tom Hughes.
Tom Hughes.
Yeah.
He's an actor who's 36 years old. So yeah, definitely on the young side for Batman.
But he should have done Adam Demos, because if you guys go to Sex Life on Netflix, and no, I'm not getting paid for this, episode 3, 20 minutes in.
Is that the one where he shows his dick?
Yes, and it was the most prettiest thing I had ever seen.
Okay,
I'm not even.
So I think that I speak for all the listeners here when I say pick so it didn't happen. I need you to share that in the chat, please.
Yes, sir. Right on it.
Thank you.
All right, well, there we go. But this is not what Batman is known for, apparently.
I mean,
Batman could have came with big dick energy, but he missed that opportunity.
I mean, he recently became like better known for it, so I'm not opposed to that.
I just think that the prep time god, just makes sure that he properly fluffs before he ends up on camera.
I am sure that he's done his share of fluffing.
Right, but yes, so they swooped in with an $1,100 bid, and then after a little bit of back and forth, $1,199 of their $1,200 budget. They, as they say, blew their wad on Bruce Wayne. Now, was it worth it? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. And there you have it. I mean, I guess we should go ahead and do what we normally do. Consult the wiki. Even though everyone should really know who Batman is. They should know his origin story. They should know about the pearls. They should know about the murder of Martha Wayne. They should know about all of those chicanery.
And Thomas Wayne.
I mean, sure. Thomas Wayne as well. But here we go. Batman has been Gotham City's protector for decades, CEO of Rain Enterprises, patriarch of the Bat family, and veteran member of the Justice League. Batman is a superhero co-created by Bob Kane and writer Bill Finger. The character made his first appearance in Detective Comics 27 in May 1939. Batman is the secret identity of Bruce Wayne. Witnessing the murder of his parents as a child leads him to train himself to physical and intellectual perfection and don a Bat-themed costume in order to fight crime. Batman operates in the Batcave beneath Wayne Manor, assisted by his butler, Alfred Pennyworth. The Dark Knight fights an assortment of villains, influenced by the character's roots in film and pulp magazines. Unlike most superheroes, he does not possess any superpowers. He makes use, to the best that he can, of intellect, detective skills, science and technology, wealth, physical prowess, and intimidation in his war on crime. That's Batman for you. He's a white man now, and for at least the remainder of the season.
A little FYI, Randy, I am so sorry, but according to the Zoom chat, I can't send you a picture of his dick, but I could put in the Racial Draft podcast chat on Twitter.
Well, you could also send it to our Patreon for the Patreon supporters to also see, this amazing dick, which, it's
That
not
is
mine.
true.
So I don't know how amazing.
Should I just put it in the chat just so the dick can sit there?
Do
Yep, you talked me into it.
All right.
You heard that, right? That Mike wanted to put the dick in the actual chat on Twitter.
This is what happens when we do late night recordings, people. Transgressions.
There you go, Randy.
This is not a chat for children. However, there you have it. That is the first pick, and it was thrown out there by the Latinx delegation, but it was successfully acquired by the white delegation, who is now.
Well, good for him.
With $1 for another 11 picks, that is going to be quite the road to hoe for the white delegation. And speaking of roads to hoe, Next up, based on the order of finish, that brings us to the multiracial delegation. Do you have a character to throw out for the bidding?
Are you talking to me?
I'm talking to you, Kia.
I mean, there's so many freaking characters out there.
Mhm.
I mean, we could do so much, but I actually think I do. This may be a crazy thing to put out there. You know, I've been thinking a lot about it, right?
Mhm.
And as I keep thinking about it, I just think that maybe everybody would enjoy this one and maybe really love bidding on this one. So I'm gonna go with Black Cat, and the bid starts at $5.
Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat, for $5 opening bid. Now,
Can you do cents too?
What'd you say?
Can you do cents too? Like $5 and like 75
I would.
cents?
I mean, I would prefer not to, but yes. But I gotta ask. What is the precise racial configuration of Felicia Hardy?
Well, I was gonna make her Indonesian
Indonesian and
Japanese.
okay. Do you have a visual referent for that?
Yes, I do, which I can send to you guys through the chat online once I get it from my phone.
Is that one also equally inappropriate? Because
No, it's not. No, it's not. I hope everybody's enjoying that picture, by the way.
So I gotta ask, you said Indonesian and Japanese?
Yes.
Now I gotta ask, what made you go with that particular background?
I just figured that they would look good in white with white hair.
Okay.
Black with white hair. But yeah, I mean, I approve.
Mm-hmm.
So we await the visual reference. And once the visual reference comes through, it will be an official opening bid. What was the price again?
$5.
$5. Now, Randy, you're here on the show. You can always enter a counter bid.
I love Felicia. I really do. But I gotta keep my eye on some other I gotta keep
Are
my eye
you
on
saying that you don't want the Black Cat to actually be black? Is this what we're hearing now?
No, I mean I do, but I mean I have to weigh my options.
I was disappointed. I'm disappointed to find out that the black delegation doesn't want to play ball.
What? Nobody wants her? Really? She
Oh,
has
I,
points.
I do want her. Trust me. I'm just not sure how I can fit that in strategically.
Well, as we await the visual reference before we can make it official, we're going to continue. I may as well read from the wiki a little bit, maybe not the wiki per se, because it's not an official pick, but there's a lot to be said for Felicia Hardy. She does have a solo series right now in the Marvel universe. She is, of course, in a lot of ways, Marvel's answer to the black to the Catwoman. She is a high level cat burglar. She also has bad luck powers, and she's also known for getting it in with Peter Parker. Former cat burglar Felicia Hardy became a crime fighter when she became romantically attracted to and involved with Spider-Man. Felicia has the ability to instill bad luck around others, and this comes in handy when fighting crime. Her first appearance was in, I don't know when her first appearance was.
See how he doesn't know that about a woman?
It's in Spider-Man, but I forgot exactly which issue.
Yes, it was Amazing Spider-Man 194, but I do not know what year that was. Wait for it. It was 1979. So, yeah. And yeah, like I said, she has a solo book right now that has been earning rave reviews. She's a pretty popular character. Kia,
Yes.
where are we with that visual reference?
It's coming up. Keep going. Keep going. Don't put pressure on me. Respect.
Right.
Ah.
Well, as we continue on with the thought process behind Felicia Hardy in her Indonesian Japanese form, we will press ahead with we got a the white delegation down to their last dollar, could not be there with us today this week, but they were able to let us know who they had in mind for their bidding. Would you like to hear it?
Mm-hmm.
He's a little character you may have heard of. His name is Victor Von Doom. And they provided a visual reference because they do their homework. And I will go ahead and share that in the chat. Sorry, listeners. I'm struggling with the pronunciation of his name. Goran Visnic. Sure. He is a Croatian American actor. And as per the limitations of their budget, they can only bid $0 for Dr. Doom. So I got to ask, Randy, you going to put in a bid for Dr. Doom?
I sure am.
Do you have a visual reference in mind?
I can go find one.
Sure. Let's. Oh,
Since when he's doing that, I just posted the picture of the girl, and I'm changing it from Japanese to Chinese. Not because I like Chinese people better than Japanese people. I just found somebody that fit the bill. Thank you. And I'm done speaking.
I mean, you say you don't like Chinese people better, but that's not the impression I'm getting here. I'm feeling.
Oh, oops. Well,
oh dear.
It's still Asian love.
So,
right?
Oh hey, what about Keith David for Dr. Doom? How's that sound?
Keith David.
I don't know.
Dr. Doom.
Wow.
I'm feeling kind of spicy this evening.
He's a little on the older side, but he is a 65-year-old man. That isn't. Are you just talking about the voice of Dr. Doom? Or are you going with the
I mean,
look?
I say the voice. I don't really know who physically I would cast, but yeah, the voice.
I mean, but this is a visual reference, Randy.
I know. I know. But just off the top of my head, that I feel like that voice could be a good fit, but I don't really quite know who physically I would choose for the role.
That is an important component of your bid. So
yeah,
I'm going to give you time to figure that out while I recognize the fact that Kia just dropped just dropped full frontal into our chat, which was not expected.
To be fair, she did say she was going to.
And you did not say no. You said, "Let's
Is
see
this how it works now?
exactly
Is this how it
what
works?
happened.
If I don't say
Oh,
no, I
look.
just get
Look
a
who's here. Let's stop.
well.
Carlos
Apparently,
is in the building.
right on cue, we have been joined by from the Latinx delegation, Carlos, who's still connecting. Apparently, blocked from. Oh, we lost him. Wow. Let's try this again.
Let's see. What if I got like Wole Parks, the man that's playing John Henry Irons on Superman and Lois?
What's his name?
Wole Parks, Wole, and I think the E has like an accent mark over it, but it's Wole Parks. I think he would be decent.
Fair enough, Wole Parks. As so you want your your Doctor Doom to be a little bit on the browner side. So I'm gonna need you to just explain a little bit about what your backstory is for Black Doctor Doom.
Well, I think that Black Doctor Doom is probably a Wakandan exile.
Oh, okay.
Had some ideas about colonizing that he took from the white colonizers that had tried to attack the nation, and he's like, they think that they can take over, and we should show them what Wakandan power looks like. But the Wakandans were not feeling it, and so they exiled him, and so he ended up taking over Latveria to stake his own claim there.
Interesting. So he's not. So in your reimagining, he is not a native Latverian.
No.
So in your reimagining, he's also not Romani.
No.
Okay. All right.
Y'all got on my case last time when I was playing a little bit too safe. So now this is spicy, Randy. Enjoy.
So what was the dollar amount of your counter bid for the white delegation?
$1 above whatever Gordy.
Well, Gordy only bid $0. So
okay,
you're just bidding $1 for Dr. Doom.
Nah, I'm bidding $2 just to make sure he can't make a comeback.
Okay.
Try to add in the extra dollar.
Well, Carlos, just so you know, there are currently 2 characters out there who have been proposed, and that would be by the multiracial delegation, Felicia Hardy, currently high bid of $5, and Dr. Doom, currently high bid of $2.
Sounds good.
As a delegate for the Latinx delegation, are you prepared to enter a bid for either of those characters?
I'll bid $5 on Dr. Doom. And
So,
I'll because I didn't get him for Batman, Edgar Ramirez being Dr. Doom. He'd be amazing as a Dr. Doom.
Edgar Ramirez is Dr. Doom. I love it.
I think the message that we're getting, Edgar Ramirez needs to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
So I need to know about the Latino Dr. Doom.
The Latino Dr. Doom. If you gave me a second to get my facts right, I would make him Argentine.
Okay.
But a revolutionary.
All right.
Who fought a revolution in another country that he then called Latveria. But we're going to put Latveria basically.
Latino Varia.
it is. Yeah,
I mean,
I'll make him basically because he's a villain, so I'm good throwing the idea around that he is basically a Che Fidel type.
okay, all right.
Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, but imagine Fidel Castro was a sorcerer.
So is he still Victor Von Doom?
I mean, I would probably, yeah. Actually,
Okay.
there is the Von Doom. There is like a German influence in Argentina
Okay.
for reasons we can get into if you want.
we can save it for a little later, but
Yeah, there's an Italian, but it is not uncommon to see German surnames throughout really South America, particularly Brazil and Argentina. So I'm good with that. I'm good with keeping him Victor Von Doom.
nice. And like I said, Latino Vera.
I love it. Latino Varia.
Latino Vera. All right. Well, Kia and Randy, you guys are here. If you want to enter a countervailing bid, now's your time.
I mean, what his bid was what $5?
$5. I just upped you by $3.
I will bid 10.
Uh-oh.
This is so much
$10.
lower stakes than Batman.
It really is. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy because he's like, he does have things that he's showing up in, and obviously he's not like a nobody character, but still, I'm not quite sure how far I should go.
Right. Yeah.
I feel
So
you.
wait, are we? Is the bidding like? Is it still going to go on for the 12 hours?
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah, it definitely will.
Or
But
does it end on the show? Is what I'm saying.
no, it doesn't end after the show. I mean, I'll submit the bidding history after the show, and then it'll be open for other people to jump in on.
All right, I'm more than willing to leave it at $10 for the time being and go do some research.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So currently, so Randy, you put into for $10?
Mm-hmm.
So the current high dollar bid is $10 for the Black delegation. Still with
now hopefully Carlos, when he gets home, he does his little research, and in the middle of his research, he just falls asleep for like 13 hours, and then I'm good.
Now I've got to catch a flight early in the morning. You'll see.
Kia, do you have a position on Dr. Doom for the multiracial delegation?
Well, I think so. What do you think, Carlos? Do you think I should do it? You think I should bid, Carlos?
Yeah.
Carlos is mad at me because I called him a punk. That's right.
You call me,
I did in the chat.
I would say you should bid like $11.95. Go get your man.
yeah, that's my man. That's right. I won't keep him.
Half Polynesian, half Sri Lankan.
That actually was my next one. God. Let's see. Like, is 2 types of white? Is that considered multiracial?
That is not considered multiracial. That is.
Well, I mean, he could be like Italian and German or something.
Nope.
Yeah,
that is still white.
I feel like that is.
That is still white. That is that is mayonnaise on white bread. Thank you very much.
Just because
yourself,
just because
you gotta
mayonnaise on white bread is still 2 different whites.
Would the KKK consider this person a betrayer of his race?
Right. Exactly.
If the answer is no, then it's one race.
Well, wait, then I just need to make him Jewish.
I mean, theoretically.
Yes, correct.
That's only fair. But yeah, I'm gonna put in the bid for like $11.95.
No, seriously.
$11.95.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
$11.95. Yep, that's right. That is right.
Wow.
Well, I put in the bid at 12. So
There we go. I mean, Kia
Okay,
didn't actually give
$12 and 1 cent.
Kia, you still didn't give a visual reference though. That's important for your bid.
Oh yeah.
Adam Damos.
At the dick man?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Who?
Um,
The Dick
check
Man.
check our racial draft chat, and,
And also watch Sex Life on Netflix.
Yeah, you'll apparently
Though I'm not getting paid.
You'll see his credentials. You'll see what
Yeah.
qualifies him for the
energy he brings to the draft.
Yes.
Now, is he
Which is the
multiracial?
thing. I feel like he is, or he's gonna be, or his children are gonna be.
He's Australian. He is not multiracial, Kia.
It would be a very
What?
difficult
Australians are always multiracial. They're practically like.
It would be a very difficult case to make that guy is only white. I don't believe that. Based on what I'm seeing, he has.
Listen, you are not helping, Randy. You are not helping.
Yeah,
Randy.
there's no way. By that picture, he is not all white.
That is very difficult for me to fathom that he's just strictly only white.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen the picture, but I totally understand what you're saying.
This is not acceptable.
Hey, I'm just saying, we're just going.
He's dating Sarah Shahi. Who we're a fan of Sarah Shahi here on the Racial Draft.
Are we? Because I think she's in my art. I don't know her.
We've talked about her on the podcast, sir.
Are you?
Oh, my memory is not what it once was. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, we're gonna need more proof. We're gonna need more proof of his multiracial heritage. So
but Exhibit A.
Exhibit D, you mean? Sorry. Again, for those on the
I'm sorry. According to this, it says that he's single. Wait, never mind.
Irrelevant.
That doesn't satisfy the racial draft part of this. Yeah.
Oh, it satisfied my curiosity.
So we still need a visual reference because he looks like a white guy to me.
Mostly.
He's obviously mixed. Do you see that hair? Do you see the wave in that hair?
What hair?
Okay, hold on. We're gonna figure this out. You guys, I'm gonna put myself on mute. Ethnic.
It's gonna 23andMe this man's lineage, so she can prove that he is not fully white. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna need his 23andMe, pretty much, essentially.
Oh man, the power.
His mother is Jewish. We're good.
Oh, so you're gonna just have him be like half white, half Jewish. That's your.
Yep, that is all. Yeah, and I've come to completion.
Wow. There you have it. So now we're in a bidding war. Randy, you bid $12.
What?
Kia, are you trying to beat his $12 bid? I mean, I feel like 12 is about right for the bid.
What about the other people?
What about them?
What about the other teams, Mike?
I mean, they're only people on the podcast right now.
Oh, that's fair. Well then,
but nothing will be final. What we're saying.
Yeah, it won't be final. It'll just be the high bid coming out of the podcast.
Carlos, are you going forth? Are you going to bid more?
That's not how this works.
I'm sorry, and I'm gonna just put it out there to all the listeners. The only competition in this whole draft is Carlos. Therefore, Carlos is officially my arch nemesis.
Wow, Randy's just been thrown under the bus.
Well, I'm gonna try not to take that personally. Okay.
I don't even Batman, so
Well, Gordy's not gonna get any other good one. I mean, he's just gonna have Batman.
yeah.
I mean, Batman is not just Batman, so hopefully he. Yeah, I mean, we've already decided we're going to conspire against him anyway. Like anybody else he did for, now we're just going to like spitefully take his crap. So yeah.
He knows.
So right now the high bid is $12 for the black delegation. No more? Nothing?
I'm leaving until I do more research.
All right.
Same. Me too.
Fair enough.
And I
Fair
hope
enough.
y'all
Which is
both
pretty much
fall
when
asleep.
Carlos puts in a bid.
And I hope
$100.
y'all both fall asleep for 13 hours. That's what needs to happen right now.
Man, I hope I fall asleep for 13 hours too, but it hasn't. It hasn't happened in like 20.
Well, Randy, you're up.
Wait, what am I up for? Hold on.
You're up to propose a character.
Wait,
He did propose a character
I
already.
proposed Warrior Parks for Dr. Doom.
No, that was because that was a character that the white delegation put forward.
Oh, let's see. I feel like
Chicken tonight?
Superman, I guess.
Oh, there we go.
Superman. Huh?
Superman,
Wait.
Clark Kent.
Wait, I'm
Now,
so confused.
Are you doing it? Are you putting forth our boy, our black Superman, our Bridgerton, or Mr. Bridgerton?
Wait.
I was gonna go with somebody darker, but I guess Reggie John Page can be Superman. Fine.
I just want to clarify real quick. So I put in a bid, or I put in a pick for Black Cat. Randy for the black delegation then put in a pick for Dr. Doom. So why is Superman coming up?
No, Dr. Doom came from
Gordy was the one who brought up Dr.
Exactly. Dr. Doom came from Gordy, from the white
Yeah,
delegation.
but Gordy's not, it wasn't his turn to pick, was it?
Yes, it was. It was his turn to pick.
Oh.
Yeah, but he was instantly outbid because he only has $1.
Right.
That's rough.
So you're doing Reggie Jean Page for Superman. And what is your opening bid?
And I'm gonna start at 500.
500.
Why would you? Okay, I just want to point out right now that Randy obviously isn't Jewish, because I would have started that shit out at like $2.50, and I would have wore everybody down with like starting that low. Thank you very much. Like, Randy, learn how to haggle.
I will say that it's not a final draft just because I have to talk to my other folks anyway. So I mean,
oh, you talking Scoots? He's gonna be like everything.
I mean, they literally made like, what the heck are you talking about? We're not voting that much. You're not gonna bid that much. They might not even agree with my choice. So we shall see.
Okay.
So do we get 1,200 for every single person?
No, you get 1,200 in total.
I'm sorry,
Right,
I just
Kia.
thought I had special rules. Sorry,
if
my bad.
If that was the case, then I would be far more reckless. I'd be like, bam, 1,200 now. Give me Superman.
Just buy whatever character you wanted.
All right, Kia. Are you trying to beat his $500 bid?
Not right now, but you never
Okay.
know. In the middle of the night, I could feel a little froggy. Right before, like, the last second left, I might throw something in there. You never know.
What about you, Carlos?
Yeah, I think I'll go 550.
Okay. Are you bringing back Edgar Ramirez?
Listen, when he didn't make it for Batman, immediately I was like, okay, so he'll be my Superman. And then he said Von Doom, and I was like, oh, he'd be a pretty good Von Doom.
I mean, you could always go with Oscar Isaac. No, not working for you.
I don't know.
Dude,
But see, now at your 550, there's nobody to combat you and tell you that they don't agree with your bid. So if nobody responds to me, then you pay that 550.
Right.
I'm sorry, but can we just point out for just a second that Edgar Ramirez, whatever his last name is, he is so fine. And when he was in Domino, ooh, yeah.
Like I saw him. He was nominated for an Oscar a few years back, and when I saw him at the Academy Awards, it was like, that's Bruce Wayne. Like that's what Bruce Wayne looks like to me. And it never quite happened. But
Not the Bruce Wayne that they say doesn't go down on, you know. You know what I'm saying?
That is the unheroic Bruce Wayne.
He goes down a dark path in that reality.
But we still need so who's your visual reference?
Oh man, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Edgar Ramirez. I have a guy that I'm keeping my powder dry on for when this character comes up, and it's gonna be perfect. And I was gonna maybe use him for Superman, but no, it's not happening. I'm saving him.
Well, I'm gonna find you a clean-shaven picture of Edgar Ramirez.
There are plenty
for your Superman, and good luck.
Thank you. $550 for Superman. That's not bad.
Randy, are you trying to counter that?
I'm trying to hopefully get some inputs from my fellow Negroes so I don't get yelled at if I do this bid.
I want to be clear. We are talking about Clark Kent, correct?
Yes, this is Clark Kent.
All right.
Kal-El, as it were.
El Cow.
He'll be El Cal. Yeah, exactly.
But you know, I mean, he you look at him from the right angle, you know, people might think he's a white guy. Throws those glasses on. Let's see what Edgar Ramirez with glasses looks like. I'm sure Google can do their part. Perfect. Edgar Ramirez with glasses. I am going to share that with you all, and you tell me whether it works for you. Check our little chat, especially you, Kia.
Especially me.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I believe that guy does exposés on corruption in Latin America.
And here's clean shaven, even though this is more of a oh, you know what? This could work. This could definitely work. Here's another one, guys. I know this is bad radio for the listeners, but you know, you just have to bear with us. There we have it.
We need more like donkey, donkey, donk, donk, tiki, tiki, donk, 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 donk. We doing Latino Superman. We're getting like Mark Anthony to do the.
So Kia, do you
go with $550 for Superman?
Kia, do you have are you interested in bidding on multiracial Superman?
I most likely will, but I just have to see what the bid comes down to and everything else like that before I put my toe in.
Don't pick Drake.
Actually, that was my first place. Like, how'd you know? Everything's straight. And then, can you imagine Superman singing nonstop? I can see this.
I can't imagine that at all. No, I feel like that's sacrilege.
God's plan? No, I mean,
no.
May mean nothing to y'all, but understand nothing was done for me.
I desperately need that not to happen.
Well,
If I win this bid, it will be Jake. just to
this
spite you,
is
Randy.
this is
Just to spite
awful.
She must be stopped at all costs.
Right.
Well, there you have it, guys. I mean, we've got all our guests. Everyone's put in a bid, and we've got some simultaneous bidding happening. Stay tuned, listeners, over the course of the next couple of days to see how these things play out. But this is a good enough time as any to transition into our stories, our news stories. And it starts off with the controversial story from last week, Transformers Rise of the Beasts, aka the one with the darkies. However, they were smart enough to not cast a person of color to play Optimus Primal, the gorilla transformer. They cast Ron Perlman. Kia, you're a fan of Ron Perlman, right?
Yes, I am. My
Yeah.
phone's about to die. I'll be right back. I have to get
All
the
right.
charger. If it dies, I'll come back.
Our moms and our aunts had big crushes on Ron Perlman back in the day on the Beauty and the Beast TV show. And then later, Sons of Anarchy. But he will be the voice of Optimus Primal, the fearless leader of the Maximals, with a very distinctive, gruff voice. He was also Hellboy, and people love Hellboy.
Iconic as Hellboy.
What are your thoughts of Ron Perlman as Optimus Primal? Starting with you, Carlos.
I mean, I'm down for Ron Perlman wherever. It's not a movie I'm going to see, so I guess it doesn't really like.
Even though it's going to have Anthony Ramos as one of the lead characters.
Yeah, man. No. Nope. I'm all about Anthony Ramos and his, get your bag phase right now. But I'm not going to pay to see another Transformers film, even though I like Bumblebee.
Fair enough. What about you, Randy? Randy has not seen Bumblebee still.
Oh
no, I have not. But I am also not super invested in Transformers, so feel free to spoil me. Like I'm not gonna like be mad or anything. I don't really feel I feel like he's definitely got a face for motion capture. Yeah. I mean, what else is there to say?
Fair enough. Well, that brings us to
I don't
the
want
next.
too much to type, but I'm definitely about to mute myself so I can order a Polish sausage at this drive-thru at 11:30.
I'm not mad at it. I should have grilled more Polish sausage while I was 4th of July grilling.
Ooh.
So, another room. This is more of a rumor, a casting rumor, but we like our casting rumors.
Mm-hmm.
Tobias Menzies is in talks to play Sinestro in the HBO Max series Green Lantern. Now, I don't know Tobias Menzies. Randy, are you familiar with this actor?
I'm not, but I am interested in the fact that they cast Sinestro before announcing their casting for Hal Jordan.
So if you happen to watch Game of Thrones, he played Edmure Tully, aka
the name sounds familiar, but the face is eluding me.
I will link him up and you will recognize him. He was one of the people who survived the Red Wedding.
Okay, let's see.
He's the one who gets taken prisoner at the Red Wedding.
Yep.
He's the one who thinks he's marrying a beautiful.
Okay. Yeah. I could. Okay. Pink face and the hairline. Okay. All right. Yeah.
So he is being rumored for the role of Sinestro. Now, I have not seen him in a lot. I know he's a, well-regarded British actor. I assume that he can play haughty and arrogant.
You said he was British, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we're good in those two areas.
Next up, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this back to back. Who here is watching Batwoman or had or watched Batwoman
I have.
I haven't seen it yet.
at all?
No, not at all. Nothing.
Oh wow. Well, spoilers for Batwoman season 2, where Ruby Rose, who played Kate Kane, left the series
Right.
and was recast. But even in the process of the recasting, they brought in another actress, a black woman, to be Batwoman, which was kind of funny because everyone's like, I know I don't know your secret identity, but you're not the same Batwoman from before. But in season 2, you had the Black Batwoman, aka Ryan Wilder, and in season 3, there are a lot of rumors for characters that will be appearing, and there were some that were confirmed. So I will, like I said, this is a companion story because there is a Jada Jet who was out. You know what? I'm just going to dive into the other story. Jada Jet was cast just earlier today, in fact, or just a few hours ago, to be played by Robin Givens.
Okay.
And some pretty strong rumors that Jada Jet is going to be Ryan Wilder's biological mother. But I'm going to go ahead and jump in and say Jada Jet is described as a black woman in her late 40s to early 50s. She's the CEO of Jet Industries, an impassioned, industrious, and powerful woman who has worked her way to the top. Jada is exceptionally protective of her reckless and at times menacing son, Marquis. Jada has a deep past that forced her to give up her first child. And while she has a good heart, she will do anything to protect her family. Yeah, definitely Ryan Wilder's biological mother.
Yeah.
And then there's Marquis Jet, or maybe Marquise, Jada's son, a black man in his early 20s, described as a sexy playboy. Marquise has grown up in a luxurious lifestyle, too charming for his own good. Marquis brandishes his power with the attitude of a scoundrel. As a child, Marquis had a run-in with one of Batman's more dangerous villains, and his personality was forever changed, causing him to find delight in the suffering and terror of others, which can only be kept in check by his mother. Marquis hides his malice behind humor, but is someone that shouldn't be crossed. Reckless, volatile, and with a proclivity for lashing out when triggered.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna just go out on a limb and assume that his name is pronounced Marquis, as in Marquis de Sade. So
yeah, Marquis. Yeah. That probably is right. And here's the big part of the casting. Renee Montoya will be cast in the third season of Batwoman, a Latinx or Afro-Latinx actress in her mid-30s, described as a former GCPD officer who left the department due to GCPD's treatment of Gotham's marginalized citizens. She's been relegated to a paper pusher, now in charge of the Freaks division in the mayor's office. Virtuous and practical, Renee is on a personal and an enigmatic mission to clean up Gotham streets the right way by any means necessary. She's LGBTQ, and performers who identify as LGBTQ are encouraged to submit. Now, do you think that they will bring her in to be the question? Or do you think that they'll just have her as herself?
I have kind of two thoughts on that. Just as an aside, I thought that that Sophie was actually on her way to becoming that, that sort of a stand-in for that question character, just because of kind of her character arc. Like she, became disillusioned with all the corruption in the crows, and I thought that they were going to try to have her be kind of like a question light. I'm happy that they're bringing in Renee Montoya. And quite honestly, it sort of sets aside the idea that we're going to be getting, the Question doing anything in the DCEU, because we know that they don't, cross streams like that and have characters show up on TV shows and then also show up in the movies. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm very interested to see where they're going, but I still am unsure whether or not she's going to end up suiting up as the Question. I'm still kind of unsure on that end.
Yeah. I mean, Carlos, just bringing you up to speed. One of the other castings that were rumored for Batwoman was Renee Montoya, and she might be coming to season 3 of Batwoman.
It's interesting. You were talking about the Question. I was just listening to Kevin Smith's podcast where he just said that he pitched the Question at HBO Max and that they were not interested in his take. They said it was too dark. They're like, for the Question?
Well,
So,
as always, the Latinx question has the upside down question mark as well as the other question mark. But Robin Givens, big fan of her as an actress. She kind of got a raw deal after everything that happened with Mike Tyson. But I think she will kill the role of mystery character that is so clearly Ryan Wilder's biological mother.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the, go ahead, Randy.
No, I just was saying, she is, she's not on the big screen, but she still is like really great. Just like she was on Riverdale, even though people have whatever they have to say about Riverdale, she's great on that. And I'm really feeling like she's going to be amazing in this role as well.
And speaking as keeping it in the Bat realm, Batgirl, the I think straight to Disney Plus movie that's supposed to happen. That is
Max.
Going to Disney
Plus. Yes, fair point. Straight to HBO Max, because Disney Plus would be crossing the streams. But straight to HBO Max, directed by Bilal Fallah and Adil El Arbi, the directors of Bad Boys for Life, and also working on Miss Marvel. They will be directing the Batgirl film from the Christina Hodson screenplay. And there have been some rumors about some characters that are going to be cast in that. I'm going to go ahead and jump in. There's Barbara Gordon, of course, who's supposed to be an actress in her early 20s. They're also looking to cast an actor in his 50s to play Commissioner Gordon. Now, where that's interesting is that, in the Batman, Jeffrey Wright will be playing Commissioner Gordon. So I guess they're keeping the door open, probably to go back to the white side, if we're being honest. And additionally, and this is more interesting because I think it's probably going to tie in to the father. They're looking to cast an actor in his 50s or 60s to play the villain, who is described as a disgruntled former firefighter. And if you're if you know about the Batman mythos, you know that there are fire-based villains. Now, Carlos, you have some ideas as to who this villain might be, right?
My first thought was Firebug, and I was met with confusion. You mean Firefly? I was like, no, I'm pretty sure I meant Firebug, but didn't realize. Honestly, I've seen both characters and never realized they were two separate characters.
Nice.
Because they're not, but they are, but they're not. Like,
wow.
And also like the Inquisitor. It's like, well, but both.
Well, I mean, I think that Firefly is probably slightly more well known.
Definitely.
But that doesn't.
I knew Firebug was Gotham Central, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I had to guess, because of the age range that they're shooting for, he's probably going to be someone who was friends with the dad, friends with Commissioner Gordon, and then went down a villainous path, and imperils the commissioner and leads him to having his daughter rescue him. That feels like the right kind of movie arc.
Interesting villain choice.
Well, apparently in one of the Batgirl arcs, he was one of the villains that she faced in the Batgirl Year One comic. So, so there's some precedent. There's some comic precedent for that.
I mean, to be fair, it's a character that you wouldn't want to see Batman fight in a movie,
Right?
but a teenage, early 20-something crime fighter, this is just the right amount of stake.
Yeah.
And there are two more rumors, and they both deal with She-Hulk.
Yes.
The first rumor. Go ahead and Google her. I mean, I know she's not a very well-known character.
Google her for only the first time in the 21st century.
But the first bit of rumors comes from Cosmic Circus, some of our friends from Lizzie Hill, and the big rumor is that the Wrecking Crew, who you might know from Hulk mythos and a little bit of Thor mythos, will be appearing in the She-Hulk series. Randy, are you familiar with the Wrecking Crew?
A tad, a little bit. I'm here for it because I am ready and waiting to defend and apologize for Thunderball. He didn't mean it. He didn't do it. He's a good person, has a gold heart of gold, and I'm here for it.
So yes, the four members are Wrecker, Thunderball, Bulldozer, and Pile Driver. And if they're going to be appearing in the She-Hulk series, they're going to be jobbers. They're going to get their ass kicked by She-Hulk, and she's gonna look good in the process, because I don't think there has ever been a storyline in which the Wrecking Crew has successfully come out on top of a battle with any of the Hulks. So why would that?
I mean, there's been significantly weaker characters that they also have not come out on top against. So yeah.
But one thing that I could see them maybe doing just to sort of streamline things is to have the Wrecking Crew and Absorbing Man like hang out a little bit, because everybody likes Absorbing Man. But
I'm here for it because I've actually kind of felt like he sort of would be a great team up with them, and it would make the team far more formidable that he has those types of abilities. So yeah, I mean, I would love to see it.
Right, and plus we already know that Titania has been confirmed for this series, and Titania and Absorbing Man, what better than a villain romance origin story? Like I just feel like that's just a natural fit.
Yeah, I mean they're either going to be dating or married. So yeah, I like I said, they're very overlooked characters, but I personally I'm rooting for at least some popularity to come out of it, even if they don't get any wins.
I'm really intrigued by the this is the one I have the most questions about in terms of if I was to compare it to an already existing television property, what would it be the most like?
Ally McBeal.
It kind of feels like that's what they're going for, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I mean, that would have been my pitch, right? Superhero Ally McBeal, where it's a little quirky. Any superhero character can pop up, and it can be like a little bit irreverent, but there'll still be a little fun mix of superhero action tied in with the legal stuff. I mean, I think it can definitely work, and I think it'll be a great exciting realm for people like us who speculate on who's going to pop up from week to week.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to work from from a fun perspective, and then hopefully, She-Hulk makes her way into the movies, and is doing more like Avengers level stuff in the movies,
Mhm.
alongside the quirkiness of the show. But this was a little go a little inside baseball here. This created a little bit of consternation on the internet because this is another rumor that She-Hulk would break the fourth wall. And as you know, another superhero, he by the name of Deadpool, also breaks the fourth wall. Um, Obviously, Deadpool has not appeared in the MCU as of yet, but he's still a pretty well-known character. What are your thoughts of the idea of She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall, Randy?
Well, I feel like we're gonna probably get a better use of the fourth wall breaking out of She-Hulk, just because, like, I mean, Deadpool did it in such a way that kind of incorporated the narration of the story, and it was just like straightforward as kind of part of the narration with some quipping and stuff. I feel like She-Hulk has kind of the character has sort of perfected the art of the fourth wall breaking and kind of giving you the uh, I'm not quite sure how to describe it, but just like that where you really do kind of feel like you're in a comic, or you really or like you kind of get the impression that she is aware of the
Mhm.
fact that she's a comic character. I feel like we'll lean a little bit heavier into that than Deadpool did.
But here's the thing. I mean, as someone who did read the John Byrne run of She-Hulk,
Hmm.
the mechanism of being in a comic is
Hmm.
clearly much different from the mechanism of being in a comic series or comic movie
Yeah.
or something of that
Yeah.
nature. Um, how would you foresee her recognition of being in a comic show being different from being in a comic book?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's sort of difficult to describe just because I know that obviously the comparison is going to be drawn because okay, we just got Deadpool doing this a couple of years ago,
Mm-hmm.
so obviously the comparison is going to be there, but you're going to have I'm trying to think of how exactly to word it. I don't know. I guess it's a different style, and so it feels like it's less of a less focused necessarily on the action and more so specifically on the comedic nature of the character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it maybe I'm just rambling, but I feel like there's going to be some sort of tonal difference that sort of facilitates more of like the comic booky element playing into how the story plays out.
See, I think it could be entirely possible that she will be aware of her status as a MCU character and
Yeah.
make more references to things like Kevin Feige and the Marvel movies and being a celebrity based on those movies more so than the conventions of the comic book.
Right, exactly. I feel like there's because of the fact, like, okay, say for example with Deadpool, we got sort of him nitpicking at you
The
know
Fox movies or whatever.
yeah, Fox movies, but then also Ryan Reynolds, like I think he's making a reference to like Green Lantern. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of them picking fun at sort of, but it I don't know. It just gives me the tonal difference between She-Hulk and Deadpool makes me feel like the the comparisons will sort of still give room for a distinction between them. At the end of the day, you're not going to feel like, oh, well, this is exactly what Deadpool did, and he did it, because
Mhm.
people know the movie's better. Oh, he did it I don't feel like we're going to get that. I feel like
No,
we're
yeah, I
gonna only-
agree. I don't think it'll be exactly the way that Deadpool did it because obviously Tatiana Maslany is a different kind of actress.
Yes.
But I do think she will have a little bit more snark and self-awareness.
Yeah, I mean, it's something about Deadpool's commentary was sort of like, um, I guess it was like references. It was like references to like sort of pop culture stuff. I don't think that her references, She-Hulk's references, are going to be that same type of reference.
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
That one fourth wall breaking is going to be more like Fleabag, where the show Fleabag,
Okay. Yeah, I think I could see it being more like Fleabag.
where so the character is more aware that they're a show, but isn't necessarily going to make comments about say Kevin Feige or whatever production issue of the show. It'll just be more like, here's where I can break away from what's happening, talk to you specifically.
Right, right.
Whereas Ryan Reynolds' stuff was like, it's very quippy, but also it's not Deadpool making these comments. It is very much Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. He's breaking the fourth wall by breaking character.
Breaking like the fifth wall.
I can hear that. And yeah, I think you're right. I think it's not going to be designed to like completely break the show. I think it's going to be more like you said, like Fleabag, that there are acknowledging that there are viewers out there and that the narrative of the show every now and then could benefit from her directly addressing the audience and saying, isn't this fucked up? This thing that's happening like right here, like, right? You're seeing this, right? It's crazy, isn't it?
And also, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Fleabag. Definitely, like, pause this podcast and go watch Fleabag.
Yes.
But the moment in season 2 where someone else
Oh, right.
her breaking the fourth wall and is like, what is that?
Like, who are you talking to?
Oh shit moment. It also is like poignant because it speaks to the intimacy that this that they have, but
and what's funny is that I actually like I've had a couple potential Jen Walters castings in my day, and at one point I did have Phoebe Waller-Bridge as a potential Jen Walters casting. I thought that would be a solid choice. I'm still hoping that we can get her in the MCU at some point.
she is such a genius. She really is.
But as far as stories go, I mean, I guess that's all we've got. We've still got our ongoings in the draft business. Nobody's willing to throw out another draft pick, but listeners, by the time you hear this, if you consult us on social media, whether it's Facebook at the Racial Draft, whether it's Instagram at racial.draft, whether it's on Twitter at Racial Draft Pod, you can see the ongoing bidding wars as they play out. Stay tuned. Next week we will come back on and we will see how things are going. Because this is going to be a lot more strategy, I think, than what was happening before. And I, for one, am very interested to see how it plays out.
I love this auction draft. It's my favorite. It's my favorite style of drafting.
Okay.
I love the idea that
anybody can get anybody.
Well, yes, I think it's definitely more fair because everyone had a chance at Batman. And also, like, once I realized I wasn't going to get them for like 800, like, correct, I'm going to pay 1,200 then. And that's basically what happened.
Yeah, for a second I thought you were gonna get stuck with him at 1150.
I mean, that was my plan. Like, after okay, look, so my plan was originally I was going to like go up to absolutely at the most I wanted to do 725, just like as a little nod to myself. It was gonna be like a little cutesy little inside joke with myself because it's my birthday, 725. So I was like, okay, fine. I'm gonna go at most 725, and then that'll be like my birthday gift to myself will be that I got like the big character for the draft. Okay, so after that, I'm like, well, dang, he's just like nobody's stopping. Everybody just wants to, So okay, fine. I'm gonna let him just keep on bidding more and more, and I felt the competitiveness in you, Carlos, through the internet. So I was like, okay, fine. He's gonna keep going. So I'm gonna just add another number. Just throw out another number, and eventually he's going to get up so high that it's going to take away his possibility to really get any other good character down the line. And I was like, dang, he got right up to like 1,100. It was a good, big, high number. So I was like, I'm going to just stop there. I'm going to go ahead and have the character. I put the smiley face in the chat and everything. I was like, yeah, enjoy. Go ahead and have your one good character, nobody else.
Wow.
And then Gordy effed up my strategy.
Once you gave me that smiley face, I was like, we're just running the price up.
Wow.
But no, like, part of it is though, and congratulations, because Gordy definitely has him now. I think just having Batman by himself, you're guaranteed, like, you're gonna be probably a top 3 finisher because Batman outscores whole teams. So, like, the onus is real. Like, he is right now, I would say, the favorite. And it's gonna be hard to construct a team that will beat a team that's got Batman on it. But it's also nice that I know I don't have to bid against Gordy for anything.
I hear that. Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious to see how the other delegations play it. Now that the whites have blown their wad, so to speak.
Yeah, he's basically done drafting until everyone else has filled up their teams, right? I mean, that's it.
Yeah. And but again, if you're gonna pick one character to go to war with, that's up there. It's probably top 3, top 4 characters to go to war with. So I'm very curious to see what the other delegations do with these. Look, I mean, Superman's right there. He's sitting there at considerably less than what someone paid for Batman. So
am I still the leader on?
You currently are at 550.
550. Okay.
I mean, Randy, you're right here. If you wanna end the show in the high bid.
I mean, I could be spiteful and say 600. I feel like that wouldn't be half bad. Half of the earnings for a very large profile character. So,
But
I mean, I could, like I said, he's a top character, so I don't feel bad putting out the 600. Okay, 600.
600. There it is.
Did you do? Yeah, you did. Yeah, it was.
And look, I mean, we already know that there is a movie that is going to be coming out where there will be a black Superman. We don't have a casting, but Regé-Jean Page is a very, very good casting. And tell us a little bit. I mean, obviously we don't have a lot of time left, but give us your take, Randy, on Black Superman.
Well, um, I kind of want to just be lazy and like go for Calvin Ellis, basically have him be that backstory.
Oh, no.
But I mean, it's a very a very different story when there's a black guy in the Cape and he's this powerhouse that is you get a little bit more suspicion. I'm sure of that before everybody thinks that he's the darling big blue Boy Scout. So yeah.
Now, do you envision him with white parents, or do you envision him with black parents?
I honestly, that is an interesting question. I'm not sure that. I that's a very interesting question. Honestly, I could not say because part of me wants to feel like, okay, he has this, black family and yes, lovely family dynamic, but there's also this kind of idea of having to downplay who you are so that you're not as threatening and don't really let yourself stick out too much to draw negative attention to yourself. I could see that being a thing, like either way. And I'm just very interested more than anything in how he would handle his role as a journalist. I feel like that would be the thing that I would pay more attention to as far as his story goes.
Does he still land in Kansas?
Another very good question.
I mean, that part, I feel like that part has to sort of somewhat stay static. I mean, he still has to kind of grow up in the small town and develop those small town sensibilities.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be Kansas, because I feel like the Kansas part of the Smallville has always been a little bit shaky, but he's got to be in a small town and be one of those wholesome dudes.
Mississippi. That's a big difference from even Smallville, Kansas.
I will give absolutely no love and no credit to Mississippi. So if I get him, his backstory will not be there. I promise you that.
Yeah, I feel like in that situation you get a whole new slot of villains.
No, it's still Superman versus the KKK.
Nice.
I mean, yeah, that to me, I feel like I kind of want to stay in that same area of Kansas, but it's a very interesting consideration as to whether he falls in with a black family or falls in with a white family. Because I mean, either way, like even if he has white parents, they still would be like that kind of working class farmer,
Sure.
those sort of folks. So I'm not quite sure how much different it would be. And especially if we end up like, doing the supplemental draft and somebody white is like, hey, look, we're going to get Lois Lane. Then he ends up with a white woman. And it's, I don't know. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
I burn for you, Lois. I burn for you.
Yeah, that one I'm thinking.
All right, well, let's leave it there. We've had a nice little show. We've talked around all of our various topics. We've got some characters going. Guys, if this is your first show, I apologize, but big things are happening in season 3 of the Rainbow Draft. Hopefully you're here with us. Hopefully you're back next week as you see which characters. Listen, there's a whole bunch of characters that still haven't been drafted. A whole bunch of delegations. If you're a listener and you're one of the underrepresented delegations, hit me up, MTFIII. Hit us up at the Racial Draft And you can maybe pop on the show and throw out a character or two, of your own. We're opening things up to wider range of audience, of
Mm-hmm.
guests. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out. I'm looking forward to seeing how the commentary plays out as these as these bidding wars go forward. And it we're already into the mid part of the week, so we'll be back Sunday night to talk more about how the draft has gone, and hopefully there'll be a lot of cool things to report. Everyone got their little last licks and last words of wisdom. I'll start with you, Carlos.
I just want to thank the Fantasy Comics League for announcing via tweet that my opening bid for Batman was far too low and should be so much. I lasted 5 hours with a $400 bid on Batman, and I really thought I was going to make it, and then I didn't. So, thank you.
And Randy.
I am really, really, really looking forward to antagonizing the white delegation for the rest of this season.
Nice. Well, Kia couldn't join us, but she sends her best. But until next time, all things are possible.